Hi, Gaurav. Good morning. Hi, Gaurav. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Hi everyone, good morning. Right, I can see Gaurav, Prashant, Dr. Meena, Sen. What up? Good morning. Can you all hear me? Am I audible? Can you see my screen? All right, thanks, Prashant. Gaurav, you seem to be hopping in and out. I think multiple devices are. Dot eight and good morning everyone. Before we directly jump into the session for today, can we have a quick round of introduction in the sense where are you joining from and what's your specialty? Gaurav, Prashant, Nilofer, Hussein, Meena. Hello.
Hello,
Hi. Who's this?
this is Gaurav.
Hi, Gaurav. Where are you joining from and what's your specialty?
I'm joining from Punjab
Okay,
and my specialty is pediatrics.
lovely. Let me also put this up on the screen so that while you all are introducing, let us understand that what is it that all, the whole 3 days is about helping you all reach to hyperscalability. But before we start, if I could just understand what is everyone's priority as on today? Is it more income? Is it more freedom? Is it work-life balance? Or is it better health for yourself? Vasuki Pandey, thanks for switching on your video. Really appreciate. People are still coming in. That's why I'm not. Okay, we have Praveen, Shubham, everyone. If you all can just let me know where are you joining from, what's your specialty, and what's your number one priority today. We'll be spending 3 days together. So, hello. Shubham Chaurasia, you say C, work-life balance. Shubham, where are you joining from? What's your specialty? So, doctors, once I really get started, uh, there won't be much opportunity for you all to unmute and speak, right? But before we get started, while others are joining in, this is your time. If you want to unmute, speak, share about your because it's very important for me to know the kind of room that I have today. What kind of doctors are in today? What's your specialty? Where are you joining from? And as on today, what's your number one priority? From you are joining from Ashok Nagar, MP, General Physician, MBBS. Okay. And you say that your number one priority today is work-life balance. We have Hitesh joining. What about others? Nilofer, Hussein, Pawan, Praveen, and more freedom. Okay.
Hello, I'm Dr. Nilofer.
Hello, Dr. Nilofer. Good morning.
I'm general and laparoscopic surgeon. I'm
Okay.
running my small clinic over here.
Over here, where?
Pardon?
Where?
In Jamshedpur, Jharkhand.
Achha, okay. Because
Yeah.
when you say here, I did not know where are you from.
Okay, and I have been freelancing for the last 5 years also as well in my specialty.
Okay. Nice, lovely. Welcome. Anyone else who's there? Hussein, Prashant, Hitesh, Yan, Rajan, Vasuki, I think you have shared.
Hi, myself Dr. Gyan Ranjan.
Hi, Dr. Yan.
I'm from Odisha and I am general physician. I'm
After
running
Orissa,
my
I could not hear you after Orissa.
I'm a general physician and I
Okay.
am also running my own clinic over Odisha only.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks, Gyan.
Thank you, thank you.
Gyan Ranjan. Okay. Can I call you Gyan or I have to say Gyan Ranjan always?
Gyan you can call, no issue.
Okay, okay. I'll refer you as Gyan whenever I have to.
Okay, thank
How
you, bro.
about, and what's your number one priority, Gyan? What's your number one priority today? Is it
I want to I want to enter into the social media field. Because of that, I joined over here.
because of social media?
Means I
Okay,
want to go for the online, visible in online.
okay, okay, okay. Anybody else have any expectations? Gyan, your expectation will be fulfilled in over the 3 days.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you're in the right group. Anybody else? While that will be a part of it, because 3 days is you all can understand. If you are spending 3 days, that means there is a lot which I have to take you all through. Okay, and these 3 days will be an eye opener for you all. That's my promise. What about thanks for sharing, Gyan.
Can I say?
Basuki Pandey, where are you joining from?
Hello, can I say something?
Who's this?
Hello,
Uh,
hello.
One by one, if you all can just raise your hand so I can see.
बासुकीनाथ पांडे
Yes, Basuki.
बासुकीनाथ पांडे मैं खड्डा से हूँ कुशीनगर
Okay,
डिस्ट्रिक्ट से उत्तर
okay,
प्रदेश
okay. And what's your specialty?
मैंने बीएमएस का रखा हुआ है और
Okay,
2006 से प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूँ टाउनशिप में
okay. और आज आपका नंबर वन प्रायोरिटी क्या है? इनकम ग्रोथ, मोर फ्रीडम, बेटर वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, या आपकी बेटर हेल्थ?
बेटर बेटर हेल्थ देन आफ्टर इनकम
Okay, okay. Thanks for sharing, Basuki. I had somebody who was unmuted. Was it you, Dr. Nilufar?
Actually, I wanted to say something. Dr. Gyan has a point. Many people here they're asking me whether you are active on social media or not. So, to be very frank, I'm not at all active, but I have been registered in some platforms.
Mm-hmm.
From where I have done my fellowship, that place I was registered.
Okay,
So, a social media presence, uh, the effort I have put in zero, but on some platform I am there, and it's very important nowadays. As I can see all the doctors and every year they're creating a hype over themselves, and I don't know, being medico, and I was excellent in studies always. I didn't know how to create a hype around me. So
okay, Dr. Nilufar,
yeah.
you will get all the questions answered. Not just that. I'm not here only to answer your questions. I am not just going to answer, but I'm literally going to give you a roadmap. Okay,
Right,
where how
right.
you all can really become hyper scalable doctors. Now, you all must have come through this again and again. As on till today, you all must have come across this term from myself and my team, the hyperscalable doctor. You all should also know what do I really mean by hyperscalable doctor. Who is a hyperscalable doctor, right? And in the whole ladder, where do you as on today stand? Okay, but you will have complete clarity on that, Dr. Nilofer.
Thank you.
What about others? We have Anil, Anam. Thanks for sharing, Nilofer. Pavan, Pallavi, Shubham has shared. Desh, where are you all joining from? What's your specialty? And most important question, are you running your private clinic or not right now? Are you practicing privately? Do you have your private practice? Shubham, you are saying that you want to run your clinic at times when you are not present. That is the most important thing which will be discussed over the 3 days. How many of you agree? Okay, I think it's 8:10. 24 hours. Okay. Anybody else wants to share what's their specialty, where are they joining from, and what is it that their number one priority is as on today? Quickly. Now, I have a very important question, okay? This is to continue from Shubham, what Shubham has just messaged. I think we should wait a couple of minutes more because we have a few more people joining in. There's somebody who's unmuted who's traveling, I suppose. If you can just one mute.
एक पैकेट बिस्किट निकालो क्यों खाता है
Now, I have a quick question, and this is a question I want all of you all to participate and let me know, okay? What happens to your practice if you don't show up for the next 30 days? Option A, does it almost stop? Option B, it drops significantly. Option C, it reduces slightly. And option D is that even if you don't show up in your clinic for the next 30 days, everything runs smooth and fine. Your income does not get affected. Nothing gets affected.
As usual, it's dropped significantly.
It drops significantly, right? So Gyan says B, Shubham says B, Pallavi says B. What about others? What about others? Y'all can y'all can drop y'all can drop the letter in the chat box. Is it A, B, C, or D? Gaurav says B. All right. Okay. Do you all agree? Majority of you agree that. Okay. Neeta also says B. Now, how many? While Shubham outrightly mentioned. Okay. Thanks, Tesh. Okay. You are also mentioning B. While Shubham outrightly mentioned that when I asked that what is it that you all are expecting if you don't show up in the next 30 days. Okay, he said that he wants to make sure that everything runs smooth and fine even when he's not present in the clinic. How many of you agree that your practice is completely dependent, or rather your income and your growth as on today is completely dependent on you showing up every single day? How many of you agree? How many of you agree that now there is absolutely no doubt about that? Give me an agree in the chat box. Do you agree that for a doctor who's running a private clinic, right, the entire practice is dependent on you showing up every single day, right? And if that was not enough, Dr. Nilofer and somebody else also mentioned that, Gyan, I think, that now you also have the pressure to show up on social media, right? So do you see that how your entire practice is around demanding more and more time from you, right? Let me quickly set the stage that what is the goal of this challenge. Okay, for the next 3 days, it is very simple that I'll make sure that you understand that why some doctors It's interesting that it's already 8:15 and people are still joining in. Welcome to India. Okay, we'll see that how some doctors remain fragile while others really grow and climb the ladder of hyperscalability. Okay. Number two, why more patients alone does not guarantee growth and stability. Okay. And number three, how leverage changes the complete trajectory of a doctor's growth. Very simple. These are the three goals that we have for all of you over the next 3 days. With me, everyone, with me, right? So you should have complete clarity. Let me just my screen. Just a second, everyone, because people are still joining in. I just need.
वेटिंग ऑप्शन को डिसेबल कर दो अजहर सर.
Where does that happen? Settings. Is it under participants?
Can you make me a co-host? I'll quit.
Okay. I can see the option for make host, but not co-host.
Yeah, make me host for temporary.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can continue.
All right. So over the next 3 days, you will walk away with how your current practice structure is as on today. What are the hidden risks in your current structure? And what is the actual pathway to become a hyperscalable doctor? Okay. Now, when we say an hyperscalable doctor in one word, if I were to help you understand what is a hyperscalable doctor, and a hyperscalable doctor is a doctor whose income, whose growth, whose entire work-life balance does not solely dependent on they showing up every single day, right? So the days are structured into three different parts. Day one, which is today, is purely going to be about your structure, your current structure. Day two is where we actually speak about what needs to shift. Okay. And day three is where we will actually build the roadmap for your hyperscalability. With me, everyone? With me? Hello, hello. Right? Who is this challenge for? It is for those who are looking for long-term growth, who are serious about their long-term growth, who want to unlock hyperscalability. You just don't want to be busy. And this is for those who want to build authority in their field. A lot of you mentioned about being present on social media. All right, we'll talk about how that is linked to your authority. And it is for those who are open-minded about your practice, because it's very important for everyone that how things are evolving and changing, right? This is not for anybody who just wants some magic trick that over a period of 3 days you will see something that there's something magic happening. No, this is not for somebody who want quick hacks. This is not for somebody who feels that I will just grind morning to night and I'll just keep doing my OPDs and that's how I will grow. No, this is you're in the wrong room. All right, this is completely opposite to that. The whole idea of the 3 days challenge is to help you give more freedom, not just more busyness, right? And this is not for those who are still in the era that everything will continue how it continues for past 2 decades. All right. The healthcare is evolving. And if a doctor over here thinks that it is not, you're not in the right room. Okay. But I have a small commitment. I have a very small commitment that over the past 3 days, okay, as we go through together, I want you all to give me full attention. I promise you something that this will be the best 3 days that you'll spend for the growth of your practice and for your overall personal and family growth. Okay. All I ask you for is stay curious, stay open minded, and stay engaged. Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a thumbs up from everyone? Are you with me? Can I have your attention for the 3 days? Will you commit to stay curious, stay open minded, and stay engaged? Thanks, Liam. Thanks. What about others? And I'll tell you why it is important. Because the more you engage, the more you are open minded. Okay, the more you're curious, you will have the best output for yourself. Because if you're spending your time, you might as well give me your attention and stay engaged. Okay. Thanks everyone. Now, why does this challenge even exist? Right? Why did the need arise for this challenge? Okay. As Nilofer was mentioning today, that you know we've spent years mastering our practice. Okay. It almost takes 12 to 15 years becoming clinically really strong. Okay. 10,000 plus hours you must have spent mastering the diagnosis and your treatment, right? But how many hours overall have you really spent either learning or practicing how to build hyperscalable practice? It's zero. Do you agree? Do you agree? And as a result of that, the problem which nobody is talking about today is that the doctors are today so overworked. The doctors are so busy, okay, because they need to always be responsible, okay, and they are always needed. You always have that pressure that when a call arises, we need to be there, we need to be available, right? And that is affecting a lot of areas of the doctor, not just his or her personal life, but the extended life as well. It's affecting the health of the doctor, it's affecting the family relationships of the doctor. And I'll share something very interesting. I know a doctor from Mumbai. I'll not share the specialty. He runs his OPD till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the night. Okay. And it's so sad that right now he's on a stage of separation with his wife, right? And I'm sure there would be so many such instances where just by being busy and just by being overworked, it is affecting so many areas of the life of the doctor. I see today it is so normal, so common for doctors who are struggling with obesity or being overweight, doctors who are struggling to really take out time for their health, okay, even after they knowing what they're supposed to do. We are seeing doctors who barely are able to give time to the family. Is this relatable? Anybody in this room who agrees and who feels that, yes, this is so relatable and this needs to be addressed? Hello, hello. And a lot of doctors today agree that there is competition, right? And this competition is only going to grow. We have thousands of people graduating, doctors graduating every year, right? We already have 1.3 million registered doctors. And it's not just the doctors, that how people from non-medical background, just with their money and funds, they are also entering. And the whole expansion of health chains is almost doubling every year, right? So if at all there is anybody in this room who feels that there is a lot of competition, it's not just about the competition today. It is also about that how the competition is only going to get dense every single day. Make sense? Make sense? Relatable, right? If you just look at how the organized chains are expanding, all right, the multi-specialty chains, the hospitals, the specialized centers, franchise clinics, you name the category, you name the industry, the specialization, it is only going higher and higher in numbers, right? And if that was not alone, that was not alone, the whole behavior of a patient is dramatically changing. The patient today is not how they were earlier. Just word of mouth is not sufficient for the patient to land in your clinic, right? They search symptoms online, they compare doctors. In the previous challenge that we did, when I mentioned that how today the patients are so much careful, and they want to make sure that they have the second and the third opinion. And one of the doctors were like that, it's literally the second and third opinion has literally gone to 10th opinion. They literally make sure that they are going to number of doctors, they are asking questions, they are reading online before they actually go ahead. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, Nilofer, that whenever somebody is coming to you for surgery, I'll give you my brother-in-law's instance. Okay, 3 weeks back he met with an accident, and there was a grade 3 tear in his ACL, and he was recommended to get an ACL surgery done. Okay, my father-in-law and mother-in-law, they literally, even after I recommending them to doctors, they went to two more doctors. They went to four doctors, literally, with reports, everything, before making up their mind that with which doctor are they actually going to proceed. Right? How many of you agree? And does this sound relatable? That's the very reason why this whole challenge exists. And it's not just about how the whole competition is increasing. It's not just limited to how the patient behavior is changing. It is now also about how technology is changing the entire landscape of healthcare. It is accelerating rapidly. The pace at which we are seeing AI coming in, being wearable monitoring apps. I wear it myself, right? For surgery is actually correct, right? Yeah, that's the generation that we are living in. And if we do not stand out, the chances are very difficult. Forget about hyperscalability. Even sustenance is going to become a challenge, right? So that's that. So it's not just that. The way AI is advancing, okay, already a lot of doctors are feeling the pressure of learning AI. I'm sure you must be seeing a lot of ads wherein people are going after doctors, learn AI, as if you've not already spent enough number of years to learn and master your practice. And now all of a sudden you have to now spend more time to learn AI, right? In every space, be the systems for primary care, AI imaging in radiology, predictive cardiac monitoring, automatic diabetes tracking. We had so many CGM patches and stuff. Right? I myself wear one to monitor my overall sleep and health. Right? So it's not that AI is going to replace doctors. It's just that it just makes difficult for a doctor to stand out, because if it is just about technology alone will not help the doctor in any way. It will only help doctors who have systems, who have continuity, and who have structured care. They are the ones who are going to benefit from technology. Technology is one of the leverages. We are going to talk a lot about leverages as we move ahead, but this was to show you that why this whole challenge exists, right? Now, again, another honest question. Okay. How many of you feel that the potential that you have, okay? How many of you feel that you're not growing to the potential that you have, to the expertise that you have? Do you feel it? Yes. sometimes not sure. Where are you on this? Where are you on this? Do you feel that you have a lot of opportunity, but you're not growing to that potential? Okay, sometimes Shubham says sometimes, okay, Gyan says sometimes. Thanks, Shubham. Thanks, Gyan. What about others? Do you feel, yeah, the idea is you can either say no, the fourth option, no, I don't feel that, or it is either yes, sometimes, and not sure. Okay, Nilofer says sometimes. Those who are not responding, I'm just wondering, are you even there in the room? Okay, okay, thanks, Basuki, thanks, Nilofer. Right, and over a period of time, if you continue working the way you are working, okay, then your practice only becomes heavier on you. It becomes better, or does it remain the same, or not sure? I'm sure in this case also, if it is purely dependent on you, it becomes heavier on you, right? Correct. Now, what is the biggest obstacle? What is the biggest obstacle between you and the hyperscalability? Anybody wants to take a guess? What do you think for every doctor? Okay, what is the biggest obstacle today between you and your goals of hyperscalability? When we are talking about hyperscalability, we are talking about your income and your growth and your freedom not being dependent on only you showing up every single day. What do you think? Anyone can take a guess? What's the biggest obstacle? The biggest obstacle today is the
Limited
tradition,
time.
limited time, and that is because of the way the whole practice has been done over the years. The model, the current traditional model, is the number one reason which is stopping you from unlocking hyperscale. Why? Because look at how the practice is, right? Patient comes, you consult, you treat, you exit. That's how your every day almost looks like. Your revenue ends when the consultation ends or when the treatment ends. Maybe a couple of follow-ups here and there. That's about it. Somebody who's on unmuted, can you please go on mute? Linga Raje. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Do you see? If this is how you continue with your practice, you will always be dependent on showing up every single day, because that's where the whole practice has been. This is how it has been, right? Now, as you mentioned, Nilofer, rightly, time constraints. Your income depends on your consultations, on your procedures, your availability, right? So if this is how growth was, then if even you end up seeing more patients, right? Maybe you might have a bandwidth to see more patients, but just seeing more patients, if this is what your growth depends on, that means your growth purely depends on more effort from your side, more number of hours, more number of consultations, more number of procedures, right? Making sense? Making sense? And what happens over a period of time? Let's say if you end up getting more and more patients, right? What happens over a period of time? The pressure on you increases further. The number of hours that you need to spend also goes up, right? The number of decisions that you need to make with each patient day in and day out also goes higher. But your growth may still, or hyper growth may not increase. And if you're wondering that why is it that I'm saying that, but do you are you all with me on this? Do you all see that if at all you continue to even grow in this manner, it will only keep adding to your health, to your work-life balance? For everyone who mentioned that, you want more work-life balance, right? And you want better health. Do you see that how that largely gets compromised if your growth is purely dependent on you showing up every single day, right? You see how, if you look at the timeline, okay, the career trajectory. So 18 to 24, this is how a doctor's age goes, right? 22, 24 to 30, your residency and specialization. Then 30 onwards, you start actually building your practice, and then you, after working, for 5 years, your practice starts to become stable. Do you agree that out of so many professions, okay, out of so many professions, the doctors already start earning late? Do you agree? Yes, no, yes, no. Give me in the chat box. Do you agree that a doctor, if you compare to other professions, a lawyer, a CA, you compare to other professions, doctors, by the time they really start to make money, they've already spent a lot of their years. And if you really see, okay, if you can quickly, if I can quickly know the room, if you all can quickly let me know, what's your age? What's your age? Everyone, quickly. Are you above 50, below 50, 35? All right, 50. Nilesh is 50. If everyone can just let me know their age. All right, 50, 50. Shubham, 30. Okay, how about others? Neetu, 32. Neetu, what's your specialization? Okay, Pawan, 36. What about others? Nilofer, 40. Okay. Do you all agree that as doctors, it's already late by the time you start making money? And that is not in your control. What you cannot control is that the number of years that you need to. Hitesh, 5555. What age is this? I don't know, Hitesh. What does 5555? 55. Okay. Okay. Do you all agree that when do you really get started is not in your control, because you cannot change the number of years it takes for you study. You cannot change the number of years you need to put in to really become and specialize. But what you can control is the years now. If you continue working the way you are, it will be time that by the time you reach in your 50s, okay, Hitesh, all those who are above 50, do you agree, for all those who are in this room who are younger than you? I see Hitesh and I think Nilesh. Do you agree that over the years, if you keep continuing working, it takes a massive toll on your health and your work-life balance? Do you agree? Do you agree that if earlier you had the opportunity to put systems around wherein your income did not purely get affected by you not showing up, you would have made sure you take that, right, Hitesh? Correct? So if you really see, the real problem is not growth. And Hitesh, Nilesh, I'm sure over the years, you all have grown. Over the years, you all are seeing more and more patients, right? I'm sure that by the time you've reached this, you already have that credibility. You already have that respect, right? But this growth for everyone, even for you, Hitesh and Nilesh, the real problem is not the growth. The real problem is lack of leverage. And I've used this word leverage again and again, all right? And I'm sure you all must be having various understanding of leverage. But now I'm going to actually show you that when I'm talking about leverage, for the context of a doctor, what am I actually referring to? Okay, what is leverage? Now, before I even make you all understand about leverage, okay, I want to make you all understand that how globally, irrespective of who you are, what's your profession, for everyone, there are various levels, okay, of income generation, okay, and each level is capped, beyond which you cannot really make. Every level is capped at a certain point. If you want to cross that cap, you need to climb the next level. All right. So let me now take you through to all the four, so that when I make you understand that where is it that you are capped currently and what all needs to be done to unlock. So at the bottom rung, okay, at the bottom rung of the ladder is making money through implementation. What do we mean by that? You get paid. Now, this I'm talking about overall. It does not matter what profession you are in. Okay. And for simple question, Basuki, you are saying that recording mil jayega. I'm assuming that you are getting late, or maybe you might have something else with respect to your training. Is that so? Is that so? And if that is the case, that means that shows that how you are still stuck to you being present. If you don't show up, implementation level is everyone who is at an employee level, who gets paid if they show up, who gets paid if they work. How many of you have a private practice, private clinic? Can you give me a thumbs up in the chat box? By the way, this whole 3 days program is primarily for those who have a private practice, a clinic, or who is looking to open a private clinic. It's not for somebody who's just doing a. All right. How about others? Okay, Gyan, Nilesh. Okay. What about others? Okay, Shubham. Okay, Lingaraje. Okay. Now, when I'm saying at an implementation level of income means you get paid when you are working. It's like an employee. How many of you have an employee in your clinic? So if the employee comes, the employee works for a few number of hours, they get paid. Right? Now, unfortunately for a doctor, the doctor, even after having their own practice, is still majority of them are stuck at implementation. Because unlike an employee, the doctor does not have that opportunity. An employee can just take a leave for a week and just say that, I'm not coming. No worries. No, they don't lose anything. Right? Sure, eventually they have to come to work to eventually continue to get salary. But for a doctor, they are at a very critical level of implementation. Why I am saying that is that if you have your own clinic, your income is still at an implementation level. That means you can only make a certain amount of money that is equivalent to your time. At maximum, if you really want to cap the highest level of income at implementation level, then you keep working for 24 hours. That's the maximum that you can, because that is the maximum number of patients you can see. And that is a maximum number of treatments, surgeries, procedures you can do in 24 hours. That's your highest capacity, which is, of course, not realistic. You want to sleep, you want to do so many other things. So you see, at an implementation level, the income always will have a cap. Beyond that, you cannot reach. But the problem with doctors, okay, the problem with doctors is that even if they are at an implementation level, they also have the pressure of expenses. All those who have a private practice, you might be having the burden of paying rent, your electricities, your salaries. All of that also takes up from the income that you generate. With me, making sense? Those with private practice, making sense? Hello. Right? So at an implementation level, while there is nothing wrong or right, but this is just for you all to understand that at an implementation level, you can only limit your income to a certain level. It is capped at a certain level. Now, then if you want to unlock the next level, okay, if you want to unlock the next level, then there are three leverages. There are three steps of leverage. And each leverage unlocks another income potential. Okay, that's how the practice is. Now, if I were to talk about that, how each level functions at an implementation level, your practice is fragile, your income is fragile. Why? Because it is not guaranteed that you will continue to make money if you don't show up. Implementation level is at the highest risk because while you might, it is purely dependent on your stamina, that how much can you do. That's it. And we all know that we cannot completely forever bank on your stamina. There are various, see my brother-in-law's example. Now ACL surgery done, his meniscus was okay, so still 3 to 4 weeks of rest. So not showing up can have various reasons, right? It can be by force or you just want to take a vacation. In any of those scenarios, you will end up not showing. And I'm 100% sure. How many of you agree that you definitely do not show up 365 days of the year? How many of you agree? How many of you agree that there is not a single person in this room who's doing OPDs and surgeries 365 days? Agree? Right? So you have a cap. And how many of you agree that there are times when you have the stamina, you have the energy, but for some external reason, you had to take a break from your practice? It could be for days, a week, or whatever. How many of you agree that you have the energy, you have the bandwidth, but still some external factors, it could be family wedding, it could be vacation, it could be something, right? Right? Oh, again, you're saying you should want, everyone should want, right? Now, that's why the implementation level, the income level at implementation is capped at the lowest. That is the lowest, okay? And it is fragile, right? It is fragile. That's the very reason we say that it is fragile. Then we have three more layers of leverage. Leverage one is where you unlock another potential, but that is also sustainable. It just now becomes better than fragile. It still continues to a certain extent. You still keep getting paid even when you are not showing up. So at the first ladder of leverage, your entire practice is stable, right? Your entire practice is stable. You can still end up taking breaks without worrying about what happens to your practice. It won't collapse because now you've crossed the layer of implementation. You are at leverage one where you are sustaining. You don't have to worry about your practice collapsing, your income getting affected, right? Then the second leverage is where you actually are at a position to scale. Now, sustaining is not something that you're worried about. Now you are at a stage where you unlock another level of income, which can literally be scaled, which can grow without you being present every single day. And the highest is the level number three is where the scale is hyperscalable. Okay, where it is actually about you scaling to an extent where it is limitless. You see, at a hyperscalable level, there is no cap. There is absolutely no cap. So when I was talking about that this whole challenge is about the hyperscalable doctor, I want all the doctors present in this room to become hyperscalable doctors. And on day three, okay, on day three, we are actually going to show you the roadmap for that, how you are actually supposed to build that. How many of you want to become a hyperscalable doctor? Give me a yes in the chat box. If not, then you are not in the right room. How many of you want to become a hyperscalable doctor? Okay, I will see the names. All right. Joe, okay. Ingaraj, Nilofer. Only three of you. Okay, Hitesh. Okay. Hitesh, even at your age, at 50, 55 is young. All right, age is just a number. Your videos are off, so I can't see, but okay, now I'm getting a yes. Okay, Dr. Meena. Dr. Meena, what's your specialization? I have not heard from you, but I see that you're here since morning. Okay. By the way, everyone, so far, uh, is it making sense? Are you finding this session valuable? Uh, we were waiting for everyone to joining, and I missed to admit the fact that I appreciate that you all are here, because showing up 8 o'clock in the morning is something which shows that you are committed to become hyperscalable. It shows that you do not want to stay at an implementation level. Okay. I have a question for all of you. At what time does your practice start? Today or every day? At what time does your practice start? I'm asking that for a reason. Okay, Nilesh 10:30. Okay, Hitesh 9 a.m. Okay, Shubham 5 p.m. Okay, so Shubham you only do in the evening. Okay, okay. Now Basuki 24 hours. Like seriously? Okay, Gyan 9. Now let me give you a very simple example of the pressure of showing up every single day. How many of you agree that, okay, by the way, are you all seeing that this session is worth, do you see that this session is it worth your time, what we are going through? Is this making sense? Are you finding it valuable? Hello. Are you finding it valuable so far? We are only getting started. It is we are only getting started. But so far, are you finding it valuable? Okay. Now just imagine all those who have their practice at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10:30. You all would be constantly in the pressure that till what time is it going to continue? Can I just quickly delay my practice for 30 minutes, or will I get a recording? Do you see this pressure? Do you see this already in your mind? Hello. Right, Hitesh? That's the very thing we need to come out of. Imagine that even half an hour, if I say that, this session is going to extend till 9:30, you will be constantly worried, oh my God, you cannot take out even 30 minutes. Nilofer, you will get it, don't worry. It's a 3-day session. There is everything which I've mentioned will be there. Everything. But you need to understand the fact. Before understanding the fact, that's why I said, right, that day one is about you understanding the structure. So the map will come, right? So leverage number one is purely your efforts. You make money if you're putting in the effort. If you don't put efforts, there is no way that you're getting. That's about it, right? Now, Taylor, as you mentioned, you have 3 more questions, right? Waiting for the map, correct? Leverage one, leverage two, leverage three. I'm gonna share with you all the three, okay? All the three secret levers that, all the three secret levels of leverage, okay? Leverage one, leverage two, leverage three. All the three will be shared with you, so that you can actually take those steps to go to the next level, right? So the three secrets to unlocking hyperscalability is something which we are going to continue tomorrow, because I know that day one, a lot of y'all will have your practice starting at 9 or 9:15 or 9:30. And I want everyone to have access to the whole thing, because there won't be any recordings shared. There won't be any recordings shared, right? And here's my request for everyone for tomorrow, that I know a lot of y'all have practice starting in the morning. That's the very reason we have decided to keep the session at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? Because we were very sure that at least nobody starts their practice at 8 o'clock. So the three secrets to unlock hyperscalability is something which we will step by step, all the three, leverage one, leverage two, and leverage three, is what we are going to continue to. But before we do that, okay, I have a homework for all of you, which will be shared in the group. I want you all to do that. Okay. And before we leave, I want you all to give me a little numbers that right now, how many number of patients do you see every month? What's the number of patients do you see every month? Because before we even unlock, before we understand the hyperscalability, you need to understand that what is the capacity that you are looking at. All right, Shubham, you are saying 1200 to 1500 per month. Okay. Okay. What? How about others? Okay. Lingaraja, 800. Lingaraja, what's your specialty and where are you joining from? Others, how many number of patients do you see every month? Okay. Okay. Nilesh, 1000. Okay. Okay. Anybody who's here with a pen and a notebook, I want you all to do something. Okay, Hitesh 1500. Okay, Hitesh 1500. Gyan 500, 600. Okay. Nilofer, how many patients do you see in a month? Okay, Hitesh 1500. Pallavi 500. Okay. What about others? What about others? Hello, hello, hello. Everybody, if you all can quickly take a pen and a notebook. Okay, 1800 to 1200. Okay. You all want to take a pen and a notebook, or if you all want to write it down. Okay, Dr. Meena. Dr. Meena, what's your specialty? Pawan, what's your specialty? Pawan, 1000. Okay. What I want you all to do is that if pediatrics, oh, we have, I think, 2 or 3 spine disorders. Okay, Pawan, spine disorders. Are you a surgeon, a spine surgeon, or never mind? We will discuss that later on. What I want you all to do is that when we talk about growth, if it is not there in numbers, it will be difficult for you all to understand that what does growth really look like, right? Before we even start the next levers, I want you all to know the goal that you want to have. What I want you all to do right now is that in the next 1 year, okay, I want you all to write it down, please. Fellow in neurological rehabilitation. Okay. I want you all to write it down that what is the income growth that you are looking to achieve in the next 1 year. So when I say growth, I don't want you to write in percentages. I want you to write the number. What is the amount that you want to make in the next 1 year? Clear instruction is clear, guys. You can either share it in this group, in this chat, if you are okay. More than happy to see that. That in the next 12 months, what is the amount you need to, what is your goal? It does not matter whether you can or you cannot. What do you wish to intend to achieve in the next 12 months? What is your goal for the next 12 months? And after that, I want one more number from your side. All right, Hitesh, 10 crore in next 12 months. Okay. And Hitesh, do you mind sharing that how much do you make currently? That will give me an understanding that what rate are you looking to. Hello, hello, hello. 1 crore. So Hitesh, I am seeing that it is a 10x that you are looking at. Nilofer, you are saying 6 hours of work with financial freedom. Okay. Uh, how many of you would be interested if I spend some time tomorrow a little on financial freedom? Are you all interested? Only if you all are, we can. Otherwise, we can skip. Because Nilofer, it is a very interesting term, financial freedom, and it would vary from people to people, right? It's a term a lot of people don't understand, but that's why for now, Nilofer, I would want you to put a number. I would want you to put a number. Appreciate it, Hitesh, how you've put a number because numbers give you clarity. Numbers give you clarity. And why I'm asking you to write this is because not just this. After this, I also want you to write a number which you want to continue doing every year, 3 years down the line. That 3 years down the line, you want to make XYZ amount every year through leverage without you showing up every single day. Now, right now, do you see, Hitesh, that you are saying how many patients, Hitesh, in a month? 5 crore yearly, right? And Nilofer, where are you currently? Like how Hitesh is at 1 crore yearly. When was the last time, everyone, when was the last time you all did this activity? Do you the reason why I'm making you all do this activity is because a ship without a goal will keep wandering in the middle of the sea. You know, it's like till the time you do not have the destination in mind, till the time you do not know where you are supposed to reach, till the time you don't know where you have to reach, you will never reach there. If you cannot reach a number in your mind, how can you reach that number in reality? How can you reach that number in reality? For Nilofer, for you to write 35 crores yearly and for Hitesh for you to write 10 crore yearly, did it take any effort? Did it take any risk, any time wasted? No, right? It was easy to think a number, right? It takes zero effort to think of a number. But only when you have that number, we start working everything in reverse. Because if that is the number, what is the roadmap? Do you agree, Nilofer, if 5 crore is the amount that you want to make yearly, and if you're making 35 lakh rupees a year right now, and for you, Hitesh, if you're making 1 crore, do you see that if this is the current way that you're working, that means in your case, Hitesh, you have to see 10 times more number of patients? Is that even realistically possible? And you are already in your 50s. That means you are not at the same level of your health, stamina, focus, which you were 10 years ago. Right? Same with you, Nilofer. Yours is more than 10x. So if you're seeing 800 to 1200 patients a month to clock 35 lakhs, if you were to clock 5 crore, if that's the goal, how many number of patients do you need to see every month? Hello, hello, hello. With me, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. More than 1 crore yearly. Yeah, okay. So you're saying 1 crore 20 lakhs, and that's the goal. And Gyan, how much are you making currently per year? Hello, hello, hello. Nilofer, Hitesh, Shubham, I didn't get a number from you. Do you want to share yours as well? Okay. So Gyan, you're making 30 to 40. Okay, not possible. Exactly. Exactly. You know, I have 20 bed hospital. If it daily with patient, it's possible. Okay. But do you agree, Hitesh? It's possible 20 lakhs currently and have a goal of making 35 lakhs. Okay, I will tell you, Shubham, something. Shubham, I think you're 32, 36. Your age, 32 or 36? 30. Okay. Shubham, I can tell you for sure that you need a higher number in your goals and let the goals carry you. It's okay. It is absolutely okay for the goal to scare you. There is a reason behind that because that is what is going to keep you on your toes. The goal has to be something. It's like you aim the sky, you land at treetop. I want to stop sharing my screen here so that I'm here on. Okay. Yes, Shubham. So this seems realistic as of now to me. That's okay, Shubham. Uh, Even the goal that you say that you set, I'm not saying that it needs to be unrealistic. but it needs to be good enough to push you. I see that, in a year, chances are not that in a year you just 10x or 12x or 15x. I see where you're coming from. But the goal still has to scare you that, damn, how will this happen? Exactly. Exactly, Shubham. Your number has to be beyond this. And to everyone, okay, for everyone, I'll tell you why I am asking you these numbers. Okay. I'll tell you why I'm asking you these numbers. For two reasons. Okay, for two reasons. One is for that to you to understand. Shubham, you have your own practice, right? Everyone who has their own practice, everyone who has their own practice, everyone who is doing business, okay, the minimum that you should expect your business to make on a year-on-year basis. I'm talking, if you have a clinic, it is a business. The moment you have your private practice, the moment you have rent to pay, the moment you have electricity to pay, the moment you have salaries to pay, it is a business. It is the business. Then you have to look at it from that lens, right? At an absolute bare minimum, 2 crore is the number that you should be achieving. 2 crore is the number that you should be achieving. That is absolutely realistic. And if that is not the number that you can achieve from your business, then might as well do a job. Because business, when you're running your own practice, that comes with a lot of sacrifice. That comes with a lot of things which you sacrifice on a day-to-day basis. Your time out for yourself, your health, your friends, your family, your relatives. There is so much that you are sacrificing. And if you ask me, what is it worth? An absolute minimum is 2 crore. Because out of that 2 crore also there will be expenses. So Shubham, when I'm giving that number, that is the context I'm coming from. Making sense? Making sense? Making sense? Yes. How about everyone else? How about everyone else? Correct? That is an absolute. Nilofer, do you agree that anybody who would be in your position taking up a salary can still end up making that much money with far less mental headache? Running a private practice, how did I miss that? Also gives such a huge mental toll, not just physical. I literally saw that Gyan, his one of the smileys, when I earlier spoke about rent, he literally shed a smiley of a crying person. Right? Now, before I even share the roadmap tomorrow, it was important for me to make you all understand that what is the number to look at. What is the number to look at? And the numbers that you all mentioned, Nilofer, okay, and private practice is 24/7. Exactly. Exactly. So if you have to become a hyperscalable doctor, Hitesh, by the way, 10 crore can very easily be achieved. 10 crore can very easily be achieved. Provided you leverage number 3 is unlocked. Even leverage number 2 is unlocked. That can be reached. Okay. Now, how many of you are excited for day 2? And all those who did not do this exercise, before you come tomorrow, okay, before you come tomorrow, I want you all to come with this. Because when you come tomorrow, I want you to very clearly have a number. I am more than happy for you all to share that number in the group. I am more than happy to even help you correct that number. If it is exponentially high, I can help you try and bring a number which makes sense. Okay. If you are absolutely low, I can still do that. But even otherwise also, I have given you a number. If you are away from 2 crore, then 2 crore is the number that you should have in your mind as your goal for the next 1 year. And it can be higher 3 years down the line. Right? Excited for day 2, guys? Excited, everyone? Excited for day 2? Give me excited in the chat box if you are excited for day 2. Anybody wants to unmute, share their experience so far? Was there any aha moment? Anybody wants to share their aha moment? Anything which really you found very interesting today? Anything which made the most sense to you today? Anybody wants to share? It's 9:09. Okay. We will continue for 5 more minutes. Okay. At dot 9:15 is where we will end. So 5 minutes. If there is anybody wants to uh, share what were their biggest learnings or aha moments for today, or what was the highlight for you for today. This particular section, I would, if there's anybody wants to share, I would suggest unmute and share. This is your time to. We have Anam. I did not hear from Anam. Devanshi, I think she did drop a message, I guess. Gaurav did speak earlier in the day. Grace, I don't know what's your specialization. Jan, Hitesh, you all were pretty active today. Ishita, I'm not sure what's your specialization. Where are you joining from? Were you even present today? If you were, I hope you found it valuable. Lingaraja, you were active. You did share. Mona, Neetu. Okay. Ishita, what's your specialization? And Nilesh was active. Okay. Okay. And Nilofer was active. Okay. Nilesh was active. Pallavi did participate in the chat. Pravin did. Shubham. All right. All set, everyone. Anybody wants to unmute, open up your video. And by the way, I have a surprise for tomorrow. While I will be showing all the 3 leverage, uh, there is something very interesting which I will be sharing tomorrow, which you all will love it. It will be about 10-15 minutes that I will spend extra. And since a lot of you all mentioned about financial freedom, I'm not promising, but if we have time, I will do that as well. If we have time, what we're gonna cover? Okay, Mona, if you're asking what we're gonna cover tomorrow, then I assume that you didn't miss the most important part. That right now, okay, let me share my screen so that you understand what are we doing. All right, is my screen visible? Okay. Today, you all understand that to what amount implementation income is capped. Okay. If you want to unlock hyperscalable income, you need to unlock 3 levers of leverage. Leverage number 1, leverage number 2, and leverage number 3. We are actually going to look at all the 3 leverages. You will absolutely know what is leverage number 1 that needs to be unlocked so that your practice becomes sustainable instead of fragile. Leverage number 2, so that you know how, including leverage number 2, you will have actually everything will be there. It will be given to you in detail. So tomorrow, if at all there is anybody who was sitting on this session with partially connected over here, tomorrow you cannot afford to do that. Tomorrow, I would recommend instead to make sure you sit with a pen and a notebook. If you really want to get the most out of the session tomorrow, I would very, very highly recommend that you sit with a notebook tomorrow. Clear? Clear, Mona? Okay. And tomorrow, the chances are that the session might extend till 9:30, 9:45. So I would suggest that you all plan accordingly, because I am planning to add a few more things as well tomorrow. In addition to what is there, there is something else as well which I intend to. And tomorrow being a Saturday, I would suggest that you all plan accordingly. Okay. I am based out of Mumbai, Mona. I'm based out of Mumbai. Anybody wants to unmute? It's 9:14. We just have one more minute. If there's anybody who wants to unmute, ask me. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? To all those who were not able to who are not able to put a number, okay, I would very highly recommend. I will make sure that it is shared in the group. That get your number. Okay, it's very important for you to know your goals, so that when we look at the three leverage tomorrow, you will exactly know which one needs to be plugged in your practice. Okay, all right, everyone. It is 9:15. I will see you all tomorrow. Another thing, try and not be late tomorrow. A lot of people joined in at 8:05, 8:10, 8:15. All right. So today, still we had 5-10 minutes in the beginning where we had to spend time with introduction. Tomorrow we start dot 8 o'clock so that we make sure we get maximum time to utilize for the actual content what is planned for. All right. Hope you all found it valuable. And today was just the start. Tomorrow is where we actually see the shift that needs to be plugged in, all the three leverages that needs to be plugged in. All right. See you all. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Bye, everyone.